Hello. Hi, Viviane. How are you going? Welcome
Hi,
back again.
hi, Dharam. Everything okay? Hope the same for you.
Yeah, same here. Good, good, all good. So thank you very much for coming back. I remember the last time we had a very great session. So based on the public demand, I thought I will bring you back to this webinar. And I hope more people will get benefit from you. So it is pleasure to have you back here.
Same
Um,
for me.
Yeah. So welcome all to this session, another session with Viviana, and she is from Italy, Rome, and she passed her PgMP in 2018. So May 18, 2018, more than 2 years now.
More than 2 years.
More than 2 years. Time flies. So it was really excited, time when I was working with you and Vincenzo and Mangala, and all the three people were in my class, and we had lots of fun, discussion, talking, and all the three have passed exams. So that's a good thing. 100% from the group.
Absolutely. I think it was great really to be able to study and to do the classes and even having fun. Okay, so always leaving after all the virtual classroom with a smile. So it was good, energizing.
Fantastic. So another thing, I saw a couple of updates on your LinkedIn that you got promotion recently.
It's now I'm more a coach and trainer as well. So now I can share my experience and the knowledge with others as well. So I really like this part because you see for me it's quite easy to speak with others and talk and explain, etc. So I really like it. I was really happy about this change. Yeah, still doing though. I mean, it's not my primary work because I still have to. I have a program now to take care of anyway, and in addition. I'm also doing trainers for certain topics, okay, related to program and project management.
Yeah, and you're still working for DXC?
Yeah.
Yes. Good, good, fantastic. Good to know about this. And also, congratulations for your ACP. You got ACP as well, Agile Certified Professional.
Yes, right.
So you are on roll. Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, at the end, to be honest, I decided to when we started the lockdown, I took two decisions. One, to stay on diet because otherwise, staying always at home, I could become, And the second thing is not commuting anymore meant to me I saved a lot of time, so not going to the office, not going to the customer, etc. So I saved some time, and because I had this agile experience anyway, I could apply to ACP. So I thought, okay, why not? I can do the application, and in the meanwhile, since I have more time, I can study and add as a more certification for me, which was, and who knows, maybe it's not over.
Yeah, it's a journey. Actually, learning is always a journey. So it's the better. More you learn, you stay alive. You learn something new, and you grow more. Age doesn't matter. Whatever age you are in, a young boy, young girl, versus I've seen people coming to me.
Always thinking, always working, rather than the alternative was maybe, I don't know, watch the TV or reading a book. But yeah, I prefer to say, if I don't do it now, when? And who knows, maybe in the future we will hear about more certification. Who knows?
Yeah, waiting for you to get started with PfMP now.
Maybe.
All right, good. Welcome again, and really happy to see this. You're growing, and the certifications are helping you, and who knows what else is coming to you. More open you are to accept the challenges, or doing something extraordinary. So this is all about life,
Absolutely, absolutely. Always take the challenges, and yeah, of course, unless they ask you to, climb the mountain, and you say, "Nah, I can't make it." But even if it is a challenge, an extra mile, and stretch a little bit yourself, it's always good.
Perfect. Yep. So I'm really happy to see you again. And for the people who are coming here for first time, I had another interview sometime back with Viviane, and it was really very, very exciting. So if you're not seen that, please go to the YouTube channel. And I think we already shared the link during the registration. So if you're not watched, please watch that. And I'm sure you're going to learn a lot from her. So and not only learning, but it was really full of fun actually. So I hope to have another full session with you, Viviane, and so that the people who are coming here to listen to you, to watch you, to learn from you, they get the value for their time.
I hope so too.
So Viviane, last time we did an interview session like this. Today we also have lots of questions for you, and I will ask the question. I will you explain your feelings, your feedback, or whatever you feel like about that, and I might add something, but it's it's all about you, what you want to contribute back. Okay. And for audience, feel free to put your questions. You have a question pad, so whenever you feel like whatever you want to ask about the journey or the PgMP or anything, it's not just a PgMP or anything, program management. So whatever you would like to know. And we like to appreciate that, we need to acknowledge that we are going through very tough time. Believe it or not, it is really tough time. While some of us may be a little more fortunate than others, there are many people, they are struggling because they have to go through the, pain of going to the hospital, and their family members are going to the hospital. They, it's really, really painful to see, somebody in the ICU struggling there. When you hear about your friends, your family, all really painful. And other than that, yes, it's also impacting economy. People are not going out. This airline industry is suffering, entertainment industry is suffering, restaurants are suffering, almost everybody. Even in IT, while we're saying IT is a little bit secure, but the problem is IT people are working from home, and they are more stressed. The organization is trying to get more work done, or people working from remotely. They are sharing the PC, we don't know, the kids as well as the family. It's a horrible time. But the problem is, we cannot do anything to, improve that side. But what we can do, we can continue to bring positivity in the environment. So I hope this series of webinars, which I have started sometime last year, continue, and I can bring more and more people. I have lined up 3 more sessions already. By end of this year, this month, we have a session with Alfonso. Then we have a session with Amarnath from Sydney. Then we have another session PfMP related with Adrian. So I'm looking forward to all these sessions. So while I'm talking and bringing this knowledge to everybody else, I learn a lot from the people. That's my fun part. So people come and learn from me. I mean, you have to pay for learning from me, but I learn for free.
That's right.
So with no further delay, as I mentioned, I have a few questions for you, Viviane, and you have seen them. It's not no surprises, but there will be questions coming from our audience as a surprise. So we'll try to answer them as much as we can. And if we can't answer them, we can always go back to them and reply back. Okay. So Viviane, first question for you. This is not specifically PgMP program. We just will talk various things, and we also going to bring your experience as a PgMP or program management professional. So question 1 I have for you is about the communication. And we know communication is very, very important for the success of any project or program. Yeah. So companies can't just achieve the true excellence without having the great, people working for them, and they really want to work for them. So as a program manager, how are you solving this problem? Do you want to see the people are excited, motivated, connected? So how you want to solve this problem when you're managing multicultural teams spread across different geographies? How do you manage the communication in that environment?
So indeed, communication remain key. It becomes a little bit tougher, especially if we are going into more virtual teams. People that are maybe in Asia has to talk with people that are in the US, etc. So, for example, last year that we did that program, and we had 2 Scrum teams in Vietnam, 1 in Morocco. We were in Italy. We had a group of people in Italy, and we had a people of architects in the US. Now, of course, we were really, I was in the middle here, because in Italy I could speak with people in the Asia and in the US, etc. So I really spent time to talk about what we were doing, why we were doing, where we were going, what was happening in the big picture. Because at the end, when you work with a team, if you want a collaboration, they also have to feel part of it, right? So they need to understand, they really need to understand what we are doing, not just, now do this or do that. No, they have to feel really part of it. So I really spent lots of time in talking with people, telling them what happened, what we are going to do, what changed, explaining the vision. And the more you explain and the more knowledge I could share with the team, the more support they could give me. Sometimes the ideas come from the team. It's not just because I'm the program manager, then I have the idea with the I in uppercase. Sometimes, or most of the time, I need also someone telling me the idea. Oh, we can make it that way. Maybe it's easier. Oh, we grab the knowledge also from others. So the more we share, the better it is. The same vice versa. It's not just the team that was in Asia or in Morocco, but also explaining to the team in the US what was happening there. So I really spent a lot of time in explaining a lot. And so as program manager, this is really what you want. You really want to be able to explain and talk with people and get their collaboration, get their buy-in, and simplify also sometimes the decision process as well. Because if you are all together, you feel all a team. You also have better decision process and delivery, execution of things, etc. So communication is definitely key. Actually, two way of communication, okay, as well as transparency, fairness, kindness. So all these things, even if we are, let's say, in a multicultural environment, we never have to forget them. Never. We may have some obstacles in the language sometimes can be just the pronunciation that can be different. We will win it. We will win it. It's sometimes you can hear even the French person saying the same word. They say, what is this? And then you get used. It's the more you talk with this person, whatever, French or Vietnam or Morocco, then you get used, and then it's normal. We have to just do it the more you can.
Yeah. And important for any project manager, program manager, to understand the culture, understand where they're coming from, and sometimes they reading the books about the country or people, and sometimes people say something, their body language, and can be different in different countries. You talk to people in India, they say something, the head is saying something, or you talk to people in Japan, their way of working is different, and we need to understand the working culture, their behavior, the way people say, what to say, how much value they have in their words. So every country, every culture have a different way of expressing themselves. So,
yes, and we had to also, of course, to be careful, especially, because sometimes a word said in a certain way can be, misunderstood, but not because of anything. It's just, as you say, it's they have another habit, or they can associate this. It's something. On the other side, it's also good when we have this multicultural team. I really like, for example, asking some, characteristic of what they say. So, for example, with this Vietnam team, we worked. So at the end, okay, what do you do with this? There is this Chinese New Year. What is this? What does this mean? And then you open your heart to these people. There are no barriers. There are no borders, right? So we learn also from them about what they do.
Yeah, and you're learning from PgMP when you're preparing for PgMP. You've gone through the chapter, the stakeholder engagement chapter. That was, I think, very key in such environment. You need to understand about your stakeholders. You identify them in the stakeholder register, and you need to analyze them, find out as much information as you can, which can be useful to you now, later. So how do you feel like that? That the stakeholder engagement has given you some extra tools to run your business or run your program even better?
So there is a difference between when I studied the stakeholder management, the stakeholder engagement, when I did the PMP and when I did with the PgMP. So when you do it with PMP, the way it is prepared looks like more, I have to learn this tool. Okay, this is the tool and technique, the knowledge area. This is what I have to do. PgMP give you a different perspective. So at the end you would say, okay, then again, stakeholder engagement. Okay, but it is important, and PgMP gives you another way to look at the same thing, and you probably say maybe it's trivial, but it's you become aware about, that's right. But I never realized it, but that's right. This is the power of, one of the things that I really loved of PgMP. Sometimes even something that is like something that maybe it's common sense, but you never realize this. And you say, oh my God, I never thought about this. That's so true. And you connect the dots in this way and open your mind on other things that you never thought about.
Exactly. Yeah. So good. I mean, that is the learning. I mean, you learn once. I mean, I'm teaching every day, almost to many people. So I get to learn not about what is mentioned in the book, but experience of people and how they're using these techniques, especially PgMP learning, into their life, and the life program in life is becoming much easier. And in any program or project, we have so many stakeholders, so many people we have as a team, or managers or vendors or clients, whatever it is. They have different expectations from us, and understanding them more, what they're expecting, when they're expecting, in what format they're expecting, will help us to work with them more smoothly.
Absolutely, totally.
Thank you for your answer. Okay, let me take a question from the audience. So one of our friend is asking, while preparing for PgMP, is it necessary to refer PMBOK guide as well? If yes, so what are those important topics? So let me take this one. Yeah, so I know, Agileddin, you're going to join my class in a few days. So during the class, I will be talking about PMP, what you have to learn from standard for program management, as well as PMBOK. So PMBOK is really important, and in my program, in my slides, I've identified some of the topics. While PMBOK is 900-page book, and I'm not expecting you to read full book. So I've identified certain topics which are going to be important for you. Even if you're not a PMP, you can still just learning by those topics having some understanding of the topic will be helpful to you. Okay. All right, next question is, after getting PgMP certification, will it be helpful to get direct employment in the countries like USA, Canada, where visa process take time? Can PgMP certified candidates consider easily for those countries? Okay, this is a very tricky question. Yes, while it can open a lot of doors for you, and there's no such guarantee that having any certificate or any degree, you will be welcomed in any country. You know, at this stage, especially in the COVID time, better equipped you are, you have better chance. You know, which certificate will get you there or to get your dream job, you never know. But as long as you are prepared, you are certified with the PMP, PgMP, or other certification, your chance will be much higher compared to others. Any thought on this, Viviane?
I totally agree with what you say. So there might be people that say, oh, I am program manager, but they don't have this certification, okay? And I tell you, I met a couple of these and they have no idea, okay, what is program management. So if you have a certification, okay, then you are saying to the world, not only that you have already an experience, because to become a PgMP, okay, any PMI certification requires some experience already, okay. So you are not just saying I really have some experience already. So it's not just a word, but I really have experience. But I also so PMI, the Project Management Institute, can really validate that my knowledge is true, is real.
Yeah.
Okay? So having the certification is always better than not having it, by definition. Okay, so just you have to jump this and go and take it. Okay, now talking about PgMP, of course, but as we said earlier, I mean, I took ACP while we were, I studied for ACP, and if I don't think that certification is right, why did I do just now ACP?
Yep.
Okay. So that's it. You just have to take it. The world is full of project managers, but still better to have PMP certification, better to have PgMP rather than, okay, you know, I'm a program manager. Okay, you are saying that these are your words. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Great. Thank you. All right. Before I take another question, let me put my question I have. So, and it's related to what we are talking at the moment. So, you know, there's a quote from Les Brown: "The only limit to the possibilities in your life tomorrow are the buts you are using today." We are using lots of buts. Okay, I wanted to do this, but yeah. But we want to do this, but we want to do this. You know, there's a lot of buts. So why do you think people, professional, a lot of professionals, they want to do, but they put it for later, procrastinate it, that they will do it, the certification later on when I have time, when I have money, when I have, you know, when I'm sitting on the beach, so something like that. So people do that. You know, this is my experience as well. When I call people, look, I'm too busy, or now I don't have job, you know, I have family. So all these are good. You know, you have to deal with that. But we have a habit of procrastination. What do you think so? And how they can avoid this kind of situation?
I did it. I was one of those who tried to think about what to do twice. Okay, so I think that if we had, like, you know, the magic ball, like Harry Potter, okay, something like you can see what will be your future, then maybe something that say, okay, you go in that direction, that is the right thing to do, but we don't have it. So at the end, it's like sliding doors. Have you seen that movie as well? So like if you take the underground, then something happens. If you don't take the underground, something different happens. So what is the right thing to do? To take the underground or not take the underground? Do PfMP or to do PgMP? So you don't know. At the end, I think that people try to procrastinate because they don't know what are the consequences, okay, of what they do. It's better this or this, or don't do anything because maybe I'm throwing the money away.
Yeah.
And we try to procrastinate, just maybe hoping that one day someone comes and say, you have to do this and you get it, no worries. So someone else decide, but this never happens. So at the end we arrive really last minute, or and now how I did it with putting pros and cons on the table, on the scale, okay? So still thinking, okay, PgMP, not PgMP, what is the advantage? So the advantage was to be PgMP, okay? But then I was also afraid. I was afraid, okay, I have to study, I have a family, I have to cook, and I have to work, and how can I do this, etc., etc. So at the end, how I did this, just a little bit of gut feel, which is always good, and the pros, to be honest, win in the certification. So better, as I said, but I thought, okay, how much it can harm me to have a certification? If we started with your classes, it was at the end of January.
Yeah.
So we had February, March, April, and mid of May. So 3 months and a half. So we thought, okay, you know what? We go to the exam. We try to make it for summer. Okay. So am I ready to, stretch myself and study in the evening or whatever, Saturday and Sunday for 3 months? Okay. 4 months. And will I survive? So, okay. Yes. So that's the thing. I did this stretch to make it. And to be very honest, I mean, for the audience, no worries, because having the classes help you also to maintain a regular and constant study, which is key, because you can't just, read everything. The book is like this, and you may think, oh no, I mean, how much it can be. Every word is heavy. So at the end, studying it regularly, okay, and the material of Dharam in this case, and the pace that he gives you allows you to study regularly, and then of course you have to study on your own as well. But the biggest challenge is done together, and having done this together, it's easier. It gives you a pace, as a regular cadence, and it helps you a lot. If you have to do the same, studying on your own, it's really difficult to make it, to be honest. That's my personal advice.
Yeah, that's a good advice, and I think many people are in your situation. I mean, you have family, you have work, you have to cook, you have to go, so many things. And if I call you now, hey, would you like to do the program? You know what, Dharam, I'm very busy, and it is a common answer. And everybody at this level, especially when we are in this position, program manager, portfolio manager, we are very, very busy. Work is keeping us so busy. Family is very, very busy, and everywhere we are chaos. But you know what? If you can discipline yourself and have I know I'm busy, but I'm going to allocate 1 hour every day, and on weekend maybe 2 or 3 hours. I'm going to make it, and just block it. Just like any meeting we go for, we just block our time. Nobody can disturb us. And this is my time. This is where I block it, and I will do it. And the most important thing is having a clear vision. Yes, I have to do it. Sometimes, you know what? I should do it. Everybody's doing it, and let me try. No, if you're doing that way, sooner or later you will give up. But if you create a vision for yourself, and you know that this is going to help you in this way, maybe for yourself, for your family, for your friend, your colleague, maybe for society, if you can connect your vision with something bigger, nobody can stop you.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Perfect. Thank you for your answer. Okay, let me see. We're having so many questions coming today. Okay, so what is the primary risk when including reserve or contingency allowance in your cost estimate? This is getting technical. Okay.
Sorry?
The question thing, what is the primary risk when including reserve or contingency allowance in your cost estimate?
My cost estimate.
Yeah, the question is saying, what is the primary risk? What is the primary risk when you are including reserve or contingency in your cost estimation? You have to add, contingency anyway in your cost.
But for PgMP, I don't understand the question.
No, it's I think general question to do with the estimation part, cost estimation. When you do estimation, we add contingency. And if you don't add the contingency, what is the risk? Risk is, the risk if something goes wrong and you don't have anything to fall back.
To be honest, especially if you are working for like a large company or your client, if sometimes large company can't just say, I have to pay more, then the process is higher. It's better. I mean, you run the risk to create a huge problem to the project or to the program if you don't take care of potential contingency or reserve, okay? Because I mean, at least in DXC, which is a larger multinational company, of course, all the procedures are global, so kind of elephant. So it's normal. So at the end, it's something that you have to think about if you want to be prepared for risk that just that.
Yeah, and I give you one example. This is when I was working for a company in Australia, the Westpac Bank. This is the largest bank in Australia. So I was doing a program for them, and I told, in my estimation, I told my manager that we need this much money and this contingency. I don't know why she didn't look. She got a budget without putting the contingency. And we had this particular program. We had to pull out 2 times from the going live because of UAT failure. And now I'm talking to her. Hey, we have to do some work now. We need money for that. Oh, Dharam, I don't have money. So I told you about the contingency. Oh no, I didn't do this. And then so it was a disaster, but at the same time, because there were 2 or 3 departments and company involved, everybody said they will take care of some portion. It worked out. But in your estimation, whenever anybody is doing estimation, make sure you identify the risk, whatever risk can happen, and you have identified the contingency for that. And if the manager, the sponsor should know about it, they should not take it lightly. Yes, it was my fault. I didn't check, and I assume that my sponsor has done whatever she has to do. Anyways, that's the topic. Great, thank you. Okay, let's take another question. How difficult is the transition from PM role to PGM role, from project manager role to program manager role?
I found myself in the middle, I have to say. So,
yeah.
First of all, it was not, so it is not related to certification because, of course, as we said, we need to have already this experience before. I don't know how I started, really. I just found myself in the middle, managing this program at a global level. Really, my career started with the projects at local level, so for the client in Rome, and then it became Italian, and then it became regional, so Europe, and then it became global, global projects, and then it started like this. And I don't even know how I found myself in the middle. I found like it was my clothes normal. When it's really a kind of, I think, a mindset as well, like the way you think, the trying to, have the control of everything what is happening there. I mean, we had a program with about 80 projects all together at the same time. So checking, okay, where are you with this? Where are you with this? Everything okay? I mean, I really don't know how I found it. I need to think about it. I don't know. I found myself in the middle, and I was able to claim myself as a program manager, but I was never told, are you ready to become a program manager? They gave me this this, and then I realized too late that I was managing a program.
Yeah. I mean, it is generally like this because most of the project managers, and they get transitioned to program managers. They, without realizing, they're already running a larger program. It can happen that they don't change the title. You are still a project manager on their record, but you are running large program. And you know, to be very frank, most of the concepts you learn as a project manager, and you know, you can apply them to programs. Yes, as a program, when we learn PgMP, we do learn about the benefit management. We learn about stakeholder engagement and strategic alignment, governance. So few things you have to learn more. But in most of the things, you know, initiation and the planning you do as a project manager. So I have seen, and most people get transitioned from project management to program manager role without any, you know, most of them they don't know. But if you are planning to go towards moving towards the PgMP program manager role, it is better to be prepared, because now, you know, you have some standard like program management standards coming from PMI. You can start reading such standard. Even if you are not, if you don't have experience, you can attend the classes. So I do get, Vivian, I do get people in my class. They say, Dharam, I'm not ready at the moment for PgMP, but I want to learn from you. I want to learn how to do my program even better. I'm starting my program. I have no experience as a program manager. So many people come just to learn as well. You know, once more you learn, you know, knowledge is knowledge. More you learn, you will be more prepared. Not like me, you know, when I was thrown, I will tell you my project management experience, how I got into project management, and I really struggled with that. I was very good technical person. You know, you asked me about the billing system, telecom billing system, in and out. I was very, very good in that. I was even awarded as System Engineer of the Year in those days, in 2000. So I thought I'm very good, so I should put my hand up for the, you know, technical team leader, and then I put my hand up for the project manager. So I was now in, you know, in very short time, within 1 year, from technical team to project manager. Very short time, I was project manager. And I was leading a team of 12 people with the dedicated support team. But the problem was that I was too technical. And you know, I was not managing the team. I was rather doing the things. My team members standing next to me, and they are expecting me to offer them some work. But wherever there's a problem, I just jump to the problem. Okay, guys, I know about this. Let me solve it. But as a project manager, what I should have done? Okay, guys, I know about this, but you start doing it. I will be watching. I will guide you there. That's the kind of thing happen many a time. With most people, you're a good, technical person or a business analyst. Let's move you to the project manager. So that is sometimes a technical challenge. But project to program can be easier if you have done PMP and now you're moving towards PgMP. Good question. Okay, so let me see. I think there are so many questions. Let me take another question from that. So PgMP is still rare one. Okay, yeah, we have 3,323 as of this one, last one. Can you please tell me the competitive differentiator about this certificate? Would you like to take this? Like PgMP is rare, but yes, what is it going to bring? What differentiator is it going to bring when you're going in the job market, or in the job, your whatever current job you have?
The differentiator, I would say, first of all, I have to say it is recognized that it's a valuable certification. So when I started saying, yeah, I am a program manager, yeah, are you PMP? Yes, I'm PMP and PgMP. Then, like, the eyes like, oh, really? And it's you were saying how many we have in the world? 3,000 or something, right?
3,323
people that are somehow related to program management work, etc., know that it's a rare certificate. So at the end, and they know also that certain countries it's even more rare. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that a lot are in the US, right? So
yeah, more than 1,200 or so.
At the end, they know. So at the end, there is really this the recognition that you learn something that is not so common, and people tend to ask you more. I saw some colleagues of mine like, okay, give me advices and mentoring, you know, giving. So it is absolutely recognized that it's a valuable thing. Now in Italy, I have to say, we don't have any relation between having a certification and the related salary. So I continue to do the same work I was doing before, because I was already doing the program manager at global level. So more than this, I can do something for the moon, I don't know. So at the end, I continued, and this is a good thing anyway. So if I can continue to perform my work, and I continue to find programs that I can work on, that is good. So really a valuable certification that anyone who is interested must not be afraid to do it.
Yeah. And you know, the experience I have, or I've seen people's experience, when you applying for a job, you know, let's talk about jobs. Most people do these certificates for getting salary as job. When you're applying for a job, let's say for program manager role, so most likely the application they're going to receive, 99% application is going to be with PMP certificate. And let's say out of, you know, so, and there is going to be few people, only maybe 1 or 2 people who have PgMP. So think about situation, you are applying for program manager role, and you have PMP or not having PMP, doesn't matter, and you are the one who has program manager certificate. So you become immediate choice for them, even if they are not asking for a PgMP certificate in the job, in the advertisement. But if they see, okay, we got somebody who's a PgMP, he is already PgMP, so you become more favorite. So thing is that, you know, anybody hiring, let's say recruitment companies, so they are the one who place the people to hiring manager. So they get money because when they put a best candidate, a best chance of winning that this person will get the job, because they are also competing with the other recruitment companies. So they will pick the best person, and best person for them, yes, you have PMP, and this person also have PgMP. So that's where the differentiator comes for you. Even if they are not asking for you, they will see. And in my experience, you know, when I got my PgMP in 2010 versus when I left my working life, I'm working as a running company, I changed four jobs, and 4 jobs, and I'm talking Australia, but nobody was talking about PgMP. There was no mention of PgMP in the job requirement. But when they saw in my resume, in all the interview, when they saw what is PgMP next to my name and PMP, they said, we know about PMP. What is PgMP all about? The moment they asked me this question, I know the job for me, because I am the one who is talking about PgMP all the time. So it was fulfilling, very, very exciting, you know, to have. I was the 8th person to get PgMP in Australia, and I was frustrated. Look, nobody's talking about PgMP, but still, having PgMP got me job into HP, into Telstra, and Westpac. You know, I'm talking very large names in Australia, the largest bank, largest telecom, and HP being the big name. Anyway, so yeah, rest assured, if you're having PgMP, you will be better off, not only in the formal certificate, but also knowledge and expertise point of view. Okay, we are having good session today. Very fantastic. Okay, so let's see another question. Since you are performing strategic work as a program manager, what task, responsibility you will miss when you are a project manager? So as a program manager, you are now looking into this strategic work, strategic relationship with organizational strategy. But what did you miss when you are in the project manager role? You didn't know much. I think most project managers don't get into the strategy side. They just do whatever given to them. But whereas program manager, they have to think about, is it the right program, and do I have the right project within my program? Am I giving the benefit which is aligned with organizational strategy? So that kind of thing you have to think. Your thought process has to change. Yeah.
And if I can add,
yeah, please.
Also, what else I can do to increase the benefit? Is there anything else that I can do that maybe I increase even the cost, but the benefit would be much higher? So in that case, it would, I mean, this is another thing that the program manager has to take care of, because it's to realize the benefit and maybe also increase the benefit and go to the client and say, hey, I know what you want, I understand what you want, and we are going in that direction, but see, there is also maybe, what if we do this and maybe it's better, and you give them another idea. And they say, oh yeah, you know what, maybe it's better, I pay more, maybe it's 2 months more, but.
Exactly, you can bring, you can bring more benefit, faster benefit, simply by observing what else in the market which can help us to get us benefit faster and get us the company back on track, or maybe grow the company even faster.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I come to the question, let me see what questions I have now. Yeah, I still have a lot of questions. So how does program managers embrace uncertainty? We are talking about uncertainty. And what are the best way to mitigate such risk? Uncertainty is there everywhere.
Yeah, so if I have to think at a real case I had, so we had this program of divestiture with the client. So the divestiture means that the client did a spin-off, so all a branch of business has been given outside. So in that case, of course, there was an impact. Just a little bit of background. Of course, not only there is an impact on the systems, okay, so that they have to move out of this branch of business, but also people. So the employees has to move to different to the new company, as well as the offices, okay, of this employee and the plans. The uncertainty came when we said, okay, which offices? And even the client didn't know, because of course the employees were, in some cases, were in dedicated offices and they knew which one. But in other cases, they were all mixed together with other colleagues that they had not to move. And the client told us, I don't know what we have to do. I have no idea where they are. I mean, how can we dismiss? And the new company needed also the offices. So what we suggested is baby steps. Okay, so we said, okay, you don't know, that's fine. So we do a program in a way that we first do an assessment, okay, of what is the situation, and then we will go with housing projects, so to adjust the offices, so to create from one office to offices, and multi-tenancy and all these kind of things. And then at a certain point, when we are ready, we can really do the divestiture. So this is where the customer was happy, the client was happy, especially because they were not knowing. So they had a fault there. They could not say, especially because they wanted it waterfall. So we wanted, okay, you should give us then more requirements. And so they accepted this, and we kind of agility, if you will. We said, okay, we do an assessment and we learn from the assessment. We propose you all the possible projects that we need for the housing, and then we really do the project for the divestiture to move the people out of this company and to complete the system part, etc., etc. So I thought that after all, program management and agile is not, they are not enemy, so they can work together. Somehow we made it. So baby steps worked fine in that case.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So let's see a few more questions. So is it worth to take certificates without having program management experience? If you don't have experience as a program manager, should you go for certification? First of all, you need to justify your experience as a program manager, and without that, you cannot even apply for your PgMP certificate. So that's one of the biggest things. So it can happen that you may be working as a program. Your title is project manager, but you are working as a program manager. And what is important for as a program manager, you're running multiple projects and realizing benefits, common goal, common objective, that kind of thing. And you may be running, you may have an experience as a project manager as well. So, you have to see that while my role is, my title is project manager, am I running programs as well? You look at your last 15 years experience. Yes, if you have done multiple projects with common goals, like you running programs. So one thing I like to highlight with the change in application since 15th of June, PMI has changed the application. So they have made it much easier now. So if you're already PMP, you don't have to write your education experience, your education experience and name, and all these are already there. Even if you are PMP, you don't have to write even anything about your project. So Viviane, if you remember, when you're writing application, you have to write project 1, project 2, project 3, start and end date. So if you are a PMP, you don't even have to worry about writing about the project. And I think this is the advantage for PMPs, because for PMP you have to show 3 years. Okay, for program manager application, you have to show 4 years of project management and 4 years of program manager experience. So if you just completed PMP and you have only 7 years experience, guess what? You can go for PgMP now. Okay. Without yeah. That's that. I didn't know that, but if I have PMP, yeah, I did a PMP. Now I want to do PgMP. I have 4 years of program manager experience, a total 7, 8 years. So that's a good thing, guys. So if you have been thinking about PgMP, it's the right time to get started. Okay. All right. So let's see some more questions. So and Viviane, if you want to put anything, add anything, please go ahead.
It's okay.
Yeah. So there's a question. Hey, Dharam, Viviane, I don't know if anyone has asked you but this question, but this is my first time here. I'm a Prince 2 practitioner. Okay, welcome. First of all, welcome to this program. I'm a project manager for past 12 years, and I worked as a program manager, senior project manager. I'm planning to do PgMP. Is it okay to do PgMP instead of PMP first? And I'm a trained in PMP, but never took exam. Okay, now I'm planning to do PgMP rather than PMP. I would like to grow my profession. Okay. So the question is, I'm not a PMP. He has experience. So Srikanth has experience, a lot of experience, and he's not a PMP, but he wanted to do PgMP. Okay, he has gone through the PMP training. So Viviane, you want to take it, and then I will explain further.
So he has experience, but he does not have PMP.
Yes, he's not gone into PMP. He has done the class, but he has not taken the exam.
Okay. So he wants to know if he can go for PgMP.
Yeah, he can go, but is it worthwhile going to do PgMP before PMP?
Well, why not? Never thought about this because I was already PMP. Yeah. But there are things that you have anyway you must be prepared anyhow. But Dharam would be able to tell you which are the key things that you must know, even if they are related to the PMP. And to be honest, even if I had PMP, I did PMP in 2005. So when we studied together, Dharam told us also what is that we had to know absolutely. So I had to review the PMBOK for these topics, even if I had PMP. So I would say anyway, that's something that everyone has to do. So if you don't have, you will have anyway to review certain topics of the PMBOK anyway. So as long as you understand it, and that's fine.
Yeah. So let me take it this question further. I've seen this. Srikanth, it's not new. I've seen many people coming to me. They have never done PMP, and they have never touched the PMBOK as well before, and they came and they passed exam as well. So one of the video, one of the person is in working for U.S. Air Force. he came to me last year, something April last year, and he said, Dharam, I'm MBA, and I'm a project manager, I'm a program manager, I'm working for Air Force, but I don't have PMP. Can I go for PgMP? First question answer was yes, you can. So he joined my program in, I think, April or May we started, and we finished on 30th of June, something before I came to US. And he put another 1 month and prepared hard and passed exam on 22nd of July. Something, and within a month's time after finishing. So having PMP will give you advantage. As I mentioned, just a few minutes ago, that PMI application has changed. Now, if you have PMP, then you don't have to write about project experience. So that's one advantage you get. But otherwise, having PMP, no PMP doesn't matter, because you still have to go to PMBOK, not in detail. And given that you already passed, you've gone through the training program, that's you already on the advantage anyway. So Shrikant, let's talk about it, and I will be more than happy to guide you in this whole process, because it's not difficult, even if you have no PMP. And I have to tell you, at least out of 275 PgMP I have, probably 10 to 15 people like this who have never done, who are not PMP, but they gone through and they have passed the PgMP. So you're not new, you're not unique in that situation. Okay, good. So we'll talk again. So let me take another question. If you could travel back in time, Viviane, when you were 20-year-old. So talk to yourself at the beginning of a program manager, what advice you will give. So you are in very early stage and you want to think about program management. So what do you say? What do you tell yourself? What advice you will give to yourself?
I would redo exactly the same steps I did, and no doubt, I'm very happy with the decision that I made, and I would do exactly what I did, no doubt. I tell you something more, okay? Just I also suggested my daughter, who is going to complete her bachelor in economy, and I told her, now if you have some time, take the APM. Why not? So I'm so convinced of the choices I did. If I come back to my 2 months ago when I was 20 years old, I would do exactly the same, no doubt, and I will continue. So very proud of of the decision made.
Yeah. So but if you knew more about PgMP or program in your life, probably you will be maybe more prepared. That we can add. Otherwise we can start and we can follow our journey. But if you know that, okay, if I do this, this is my path. If I do this certificate, do this, I'll reach to this level. So yeah, if you knew about it, why not? And people who's just starting the journey as a program manager or portfolio manager, you start more. You are more prepared than what I was when I did my PgMP in 2010, and Viviane, she did in 2018. So if you knew about it, we could be more prepared. But guess what? Doesn't matter where we started, where we are is important.
No, absolutely. And there is also one thing, because of the doubt about the procrastination, etc. When I did PMP, my youngest son was 5 years old. So I was terrified really to do not pass the exam, because I studied a lot, I sacrificed the family, etc. And I was terrified I could not pass it. Okay, so because otherwise it meant I had to continue to study, and I could not afford that, and continue to not playing with the kids because they were so young. So I was afraid, and happy I did it as well. I was also doubting with PgMP. Okay, what if if I have to study, I have to do lots of things also for family, etc. And very happy about it. Probably the only thing is ACP, which was now, okay, kids are they don't want me anymore. Okay, they need me only because, okay, mommy cook. Okay, so that's the thing. So I don't have this type of problem, but to be honest, every certification gives you a lot of satisfaction. Every time it was like, oh, I passed, but I felt really like a great experience because I had fun in studying. I enjoyed it. I felt satisfaction when I saw congratulations, you passed. So really a great experience every single time I did it. 3 times, and 3 times were great.
Yeah, so it's always great feeling. Okay. Somebody asking any PDF from this session. Yes, there's a PDF, and you will get an email today or tomorrow with the link with this video as well as information about the PDF. So don't worry about it. So you will get it. Okay, so let's take another question. Okay. Okay. Somebody is asking a question around the difference between MSP versus PgMP. So do you have experience on MSP by chance? No. So MSP is coming from AXELOS. It's a managing successful program, and they also happens to an ITIL as well. So these certifications are great, but they are kind of they are giving you methodology. Then they are very prescribed way of doing things. And there is a limitation because MSP you can use in certain countries only. If you have MSP, if you come in US, nobody knows about MSP, so it's not going to give you any value to you. But if you go to UK or some part of Europe, you may get advantage of that. Whereas PgMP is global. Yeah, at least I think 88 or 89 countries we have PgMP. Wherever you have PMP, you will see PgMP very soon. So PgMP is more known compared to MSP, especially outside of UK or some part of Australia, some part of New Zealand, some part of Europe. That's what MSP is. But yes, both of them give you learning. Learning, you should be learning from any certificate anyway. So you need to see which one give you more value in terms of your career, in terms of if you want to move around the country. So that's where you have to see. Okay. All right. So lots of questions. You are very popular. So I have another question here. How, as a program manager, you manage a tough decision? So as a program manager,
how it take a tough decision?
Exactly, tough decision. You have to take tough decisions.
I tell you how my way. Now maybe Dharam has his own. So when there is this tough decision, and I'm really a person who almost a risk adverse person. Okay, so I don't like to just try and I close my eyes. And so first of all, having this I personally have great relation with people, talking with people, and even I don't know, maybe because I'm more Italian, so very talky person, and sometimes also even if it's a normal meeting, there is always a chat, okay, how are you, etc. So usually I work with very collaborative people, and we talk and exchange, and listening carefully what people are saying. Really, we are really all a team. So if I have a tough decision, it's rare that I have the knowledge to take it on my own, etc. So I might have to go and ask, okay, what do you think? What is this? Tell me more. And sometimes I need to gather also some data. And I reached the tough decision having heard, different opinion, or maybe I gathered more data. And yeah, when I take the decision, then okay, I know what are my assumptions. Okay, I'm assuming that this is the right thing, etc., etc. So I'm trying to balance everything before I go there. To be honest, this is my attitude always. Even if I have to do a vacation somewhere, then I think if there is a tough decision, I try to think about all possible things before really I go there and take that decision. I don't know, Dharam, if you feel the same, but
yeah. So it's all about being prepared. Tough decision we have to take in life time to time, and sometimes we take risk, and knowing there's a risk involved in that, but we still take risk of whether it's within a work situation, maybe to like people like somebody who decided to move from Australia after living 22 years to US. It was a tough decision. It was a crazy decision. So with my whole family and bringing everything, uprooting everything. So, yeah, you have to think about, various possibilities. Where can it be? So initially, any tough decision can be, full of uncertainty. What will, what if, what not? But yes, you have to take your gut feeling and find your way around. So yes, knowing more about the situation, being prepared will definitely help, whether it's work situation or life situation.
yeah.
Okay, so we have. I think we'll take a couple more questions. I know we are already out of time, and we still have many questions too. I think Viviane, I like so much. I probably have to invite you third time before I run out of my questions.
Hey, you can invite me every time you want, Dharam.
So I will look forward to next session. But let's see a couple more questions before we close. Okay. Take a situation where PgMP gave you advantage. So where you find the advantage because you have PgMP.
At work, in some cases with some clients, they are looking for PgMP. So at the end, I programs, some programs, certain clients are start, even in Italy, start requiring the certification. So at the end, of course, this is keeping me in the market. And from what I heard, maybe there are no more, but I think that also in the US, certain programs requires also certification. So to be honest, it's like Halloween. We did not have Halloween at all in Italy. We did not have Black Fridays in Italy. But at a certain point, maybe because in the US they are doing so, oops, now we have Halloween and now we have a Black Friday. So probably sooner or later, this, it will come also in other countries. So I think this is the advantage mainly to have this. And as I said, really, it is also guaranteeing that you have the knowledge also with your other colleagues. So
yeah, and having PgMP will definitely open a lot of doors. To me, as I mentioned earlier, like in 2000, I got my PgMP 2010. Since then, I changed 4 jobs, and none of the job was asking for PgMP. But having PgMP in my certificate, in my resume, actually got me the job. And nobody was asking for PgMP. And end up in all the 4 interviews, we end up talking about PgMP. And actually, one job where I went for an agile project manager role. Think about, and think of a person who never worked in agile. I just read the books and I've gone through ACP book and some of these things. And my wife was working agile, so I applied and I was gone into the interview. And I was literally struggling in my interview. Like I was sweating. You're asking about Kanban, this and that situation. I was literally struggling. But one person out of 2 people, he asked me a question. I mean, I have two things actually, two passion I have. One is yoga, and second is PgMP. So one person asked me about the yoga. Immediately, my sweat, I don't know where it's gone. My face was shining and I was very present at the time. Suddenly, my interview, which was already lost the interview, was gone. And second person happened to be my manager. He was preparing for PgMP, so he asked about PgMP. So guess what? Without having agile set knowledge, I got the job. just because I had PgMP. So yeah, it's a lot of advantage. And guys, so if you are still on the fence, you're still thinking, so this is the time for you. Utilize your available time. You are not traveling. I know some people are working late hours because of the remote working, but if you have time and if you have passion to learn, this is the right time to get started. And you like to be more prepared than less. As you know, the market is very unstable. There will be a lot of job, many people losing jobs. So if you are more prepared, you are more certified and experienced person, the chances of surviving or growing, even not surviving, but growing in this environment is still high than not having that. There's no right time, but this is right time. Whenever you're ready, that's the right time. So
Okay.
yeah, Viviane, thank you again for your time. And I'm sure, as I mentioned, I will be calling you again. Let's have another session. It's always a pleasure talking with you. So I love to bring you back. And thank you for your openly and generous contribution. And I'm sure people have benefited from your discussion or our discussion. And I can see a lot of thank yous coming on the question.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure talking with you, and also pleasure to have all the people as the audience. It is always good to have you. So please reach out to us, for any PgMP, PfMP, or any certificate, or even just want to talk to me. Look, Dharam, this is where I am in my career. What should I do? And I do, I have I think as an email coming out to you, it will also have a link for setting meeting with me. So please set a meeting. People call me and Dharam, I'm just a starter. I'm starting. Other day I got a call from a lady. She said, I'm just starting and I want you to get into project management. I'm a developer. There's nothing to do with PgMP, PfMP. So I just, spend 15, 20 minutes, half an hour with her, talking to her, and wherever I can add value. And I'm sure Viviane is also available for any guidance. And so we are here to help, and not just PgMP, PfMP, or any certificate, just anything you feel like, we are here to help. So please reach out to us, and see you soon, very soon. We have 3 more webinars are lined up for you, and every time you come, you're going to learn not only from me, from other people, my guests, wonderful guests. You get to earn 1 PDU from these sessions. And who knows what else you would gain from these conversations. So please come and please join. Thank you, Viviane. And
thank you to everyone.
And thank you everyone for coming. I know some people are in the middle of night, or some people are early morning, but this is your dedication for you, for yourself, and to grow in your career and to get the benefit from the life. So please stay safe and enjoy life. All right. See you soon. Thank you.